in Australians leaving the country for multiple reasons. I couldn't get any updated data only up till 2023, and I think since then there will be more and more of it, and we're probably in a little bubble because we know a lot of friends and acquaintances that have left. Is this something that you see as a problem, or is it just a little bit of a bubble that we're seeing? And obviously when you're listening and hearing and seeing stuff on social media about it, you feel like it's everywhere, but it might just be within your
echo chamber.
your echo chamber, 5 kilometer radius. What are your thoughts?
Well, look, it's always disappointing when anyone immigrates, especially if they're sort of successful at what they do and they're taking their talent with them. We don't want that to happen. I mean, I don't have the numbers on how many are immigrating, but it is disappointing if someone's grown up in Australia and they're Australian and they're leaving their country because they don't think there's the opportunities here anymore. I would call that a net loss. And I know a lot of it happened throughout COVID. I mean, a lot of people have just given up on Australia. They were so disgusted with the government throughout COVID that they said, we're not going to be here anymore. Especially in Victoria, where it was horrendous. The government overreach was out of control. So, but I would say this is indicative upon the government or indicative of governments today who basically have no vision for the future. And people that do like to look ahead and want to know where their country's going and where a better life for their children is, if the governments of today, if all they're doing is controlling people and not actually out there empowering people, not actually out there giving people hope, and to do that, you've got to have a vision, you've got to have a solution, and you've got to have the know-how, people give up. They go, well, why should I stay here when I've got, other countries, Trump's talking big, Texas, Florida. I know they're two big destinations. Dubai's giving, tax-free options. I mean, personally, I don't know why you'd go to Dubai, because what are they going to build? More skyscrapers in the middle of the desert? That's not for me. I mean, but some people might want to go there.
What they are doing, I've come from there, and that's what it looks like they're doing. And let me tell you, they're building hundreds of thousands of units, but they're doing what you're talking about, what you want to do. They're building infrastructure. They're spending a shit ton on infrastructure, making it easier for people to live, accessible. They're building the world's biggest airport with 400 gates at the moment.
Yeah, wow.
Right. They're using I've heard that they're using the old airport once that's done, just for private planes. Like they're building trains that will be, connecting all the different Emirates together within, like bullet trains, all these different types of things that you're like, that will. Meanwhile, we're trying to build a tram line here for the last 4 to 5 years, and then saying, no, you're not going to get the last part.
Victoria still doesn't have it.
Let's do a bus route, let's do a bus route instead to take everybody there. So it's, it's interesting. There's definitely, I feel like Australia at the moment is not incentivizing the inventor, is not incentivizing the entrepreneur, is not incentivizing the builder. Right? Like, why keep building when you've got this payroll tax and this tax, and then you've got fair work on your ass because you've said the wrong thing, or you haven't ticked the right box? Like, it's a lot of pressure. Yeah. Right. There's a lot of anxiety for builders at the moment.
Topher said it best. The Australian government at the moment is trying to play God, and they're trying to propagate a religion where we will take care of you and
Yeah, and it's stifling, and that's why anyone a bit of get up and go, I can understand why. Well, I personally can't, because give me green grass and the outback, give me. I love my country, and I love the Great Dividing Range. I love our beaches. I love mountain biking. I love all the outdoor stuff. Right? I mean, to me, I'd be like Dubai. Okay,
yeah,
it's good 5 days a week, but on the weekend, what am I going to do? Drive out to the desert and drive out in the desert and ride a camel? I mean, it's not me. And I bet you the surf in Dubai is it's hot, and I mean,
there's no surf. No.
Yeah, so
it's definitely not for everybody. Like you're probably, I mean, let's spit out facts. It's hard to beat the Australian lifestyle.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Like specifically, like Gold Coast for me. Like I mean, it is the best of the best when it comes to an actual lifestyle of where you would want to live.
We spoke about we were speaking about thought experiments yesterday on the podcast, and I thought of a question when I was dozing off to bed last night. If each one of us was reset to zero net wealth at our current ages, and we had to start again, which country would we decide to do it in?
Yeah.
Right? Would you go to Dubai? I don't think so.
At the current ages.
Yeah, current age, right?
Mm.
You would stay in Australia and you'd have a crack in Australia because it's the best country to it's still, I think, one of the best countries to.
Well, this is why we're all fighting
it
for it, right? Like I know friends of mine.
fantastic.
Yeah, I know friends of mine that are overseas. And this isn't Adam specifically.
He's
that
not
are there. No, but I'm not pointing him out. I have other friends that are there, and it's for a stint. It's not forever.
Yeah.
They're not retiring there, right? It's a stint. It's let me get it out of the system. You know, there's a period of time where I can go and collect some big funds, and then bring it back at some point, and right off to the sunset. So I guess it all depends on your situation, but that is a good thought experience.
This is
a very good question.
Australia. If you were starting from scratch, which the majority of Australians, unfortunately, the data says are, this is still one of the best countries in the world to make it from scratch. When you look at opportunity, lifestyle,
Yeah.
and everything else, right?